Alright, motherfuckers, how you guys doing today on this Tuesday, January 23rd, 2024? I am back in the crypt. Happy New Year to everybody. MOD coming at you with another fucking video, as always, coming to you from the MOD crypt, of course. Now, if you guys missed anything in the past week, I want you to click that eye in the upper right corner of the screen, get caught up on all the latest videos. I really appreciate it. Remember to hit that subscribe button down below and turn on the bell so you don't miss anything at all. You're looking at one of the most underground metal channels on the platform and one of the most hardworking, giving you only the real elite underground metal. As always, raw fucking intolerance. Live it and breathe it. Welcome to Album Review Tuesdays here on the channel. Tonight we are going deep into the underground, into France, for a look at one of the most elite and essential splits in the black metal underground with Belketres and Belketres' March to the Black Holocaust, which was initially released in 1995 on Embassy Productions and has been reissued twice on Drakkar Productions. Now, once in 2013 and just recently in October of 2023. And I finally have my fucking copy of this, so pretty fucking amazing. Now, for those of you who don't know, the LLN were a group of elites from France who formed their own black metal circle in response to the Norwegian bands claiming the throne, that they were the kings of black metal. And the French bands were also one of their own in the circle of black metal in the mid-90s as well. And I actually think the French bands are better than the Norwegian bands. So that's just the way it is. Now, this is part 2 of the 2-part series because in this video I'm covering the second half of the split with Belketre. So for the lineup, we have Vorbed narrator, all instruments and vocals. Let's get into this fucking review. And I don't have the CD over with me right now. It is over there, but I already showed you the layout and everything in part 1. You can click the eye right up there in the screen and it's there. You can go watch part 1. So let's get into the fucking review. Now, Belketre's side of the split opens with Guilty, and immediately you are greeted with some of the most raw, abrasive guitar tones in history, okay? And this is absolutely menacing, and it hits you like 1,000 razor blades running across your skin as the guitars, vocals, and drums pummel you and destroy every ounce of light and hope you could ever possibly feel. Now, the vocals are absolutely inhuman and dementedly psychotic and very bone-chilling. Atmospheric passages of complete dread and suicide permeate this entire listening experience, and it's absolutely goddamn bone-chilling, okay? And it all comes through this wretched and twisted duration of this track as it twists and collides against chasms of pure desolation and just absolute misanthropic trajectory that completes the experience and will leave you fucking breathless. And I absolutely think this track is killer. Now, next up we have A Day Will Dawn, and I can't believe how cold and hateful this track is. The chaotic blast beats of psychotic frenzy and shrill vocals just elevate this to new heights, and guitar work is like being in a frozen tundra of Siberia in the dead of night with no hope of ever finding civilization or anything remotely close to sanity. And it evokes these kinds of emotions as it continues throughout the track. The insanity does not let up throughout it at all as it comes in at the slower parts and invokes some serious contemplative pits of depressive melodies and pure misanthropic cold visions of death and annihilation of the human race, with the firm grasp of wrath clearly within range of the artist and the listener themselves. And the range of emotional volatility that this track is expressing is very, very immersive, to the point where you just cannot help but feel everything I just described, and this is another killer track as well. Now, next up we have the track Hate, and this one opens with a somber, hypnotic, clean guitar riff and really feels like a passage of Belketre with its simplicity but effective driving force of despair. And in fact, the guys in Belketre, one of the dudes is in Belketre, so there you go. And the pain that really puts this track up and elevates it to new heights is just insane, and this foreboding isolation which breaks through to some insane vocal passages that literally remind you of demonic creatures emanating from your speakers, albeit through a disorienting trance of despondency and mental fragility. And all of this works to create a very compelling listen, even though the minimalism here is pretty overt and obvious, and its emphasis is clearly defined, which really helps to put forth the very purpose of creating an intense atmospheric experience. This is a great fucking track as well. Now, next up we have Last Sigh of God, and this track is a short 1 minute and 18-second track of pure hatred, speed, coldness, bleakness, and raw fucking intolerance, as the visions of demonic, hateful maniacs tear down every holy landscape of heaven, with the wrath of hell bearing down on all who bear witness. And it makes for a faster listening experience of the track, as it takes it to that much more of a menacing and frantic feel because of the shorter duration. All in all, this is a killer fucking track. Alright, let's check out some Belketre here on MOD. Enjoy. Alright, we are back. Pretty fucking killer, right? Next up, we've got Night of Sadness, and my god, this one is a slower track, but very atmospheric, and really reminds me of Xastor in a lot of ways, even though this came before Xastor, but not by much, because Malefic was already making music as early as 1995. However, what bleeds forth from your speakers on this mammoth of misanthropy and despair is nothing short of an emotional hell of nihilism and complete psychosis of the most primal and unbridled form in the pits of nothingness that creates such an intense, foreboding listening experience. And it's really insane how unbridled this track really is, and very primal, and it creates a swelling void of insanity and desperate rage and longing for the end of life. Very crazy stuff. And the instrumentation and framework is incredible. Guitars and vocals combine so well to illustrate these emotions, aesthetics, and ideals so fucking concretely that you could swear that it wasn't music anymore, but rather a state of being, all from another world, being far away from your body that's inhabiting it, as this track takes your soul far away from anything even resembling humanity. This track is so fucking killer. Next up is Despair, and this is 2 minutes of guitar-driven agony, okay? That's going to leave you feeling empty, cold, isolated, and completely forgotten in the realms of blackness. This is a really minimalistic song, but for what it is and what it's bringing across throughout, these simple riffs and emotions work well, and it's nothing short of mesmerizing and completely void of anything that could remind you of your existence, that drains you of all essence of life and warmth. Very killer stuff. Next up, we've got Those of Our Blood, and holy shit do I ever love this track so fucking much. Because what we get here is an onslaught of misanthropy, desolation, suicide, despair, and rage that all combines and covers you in its venomous embrace of pain and anguish, as your soul is ripped from your earthly prison and catapulted into a void of ethereal misery and bleak, hopeless cycles of insanity and depravity, where you can't even make sense of the deranged chasms of existence anymore within this mentally broken down mind and awareness of your surroundings. And that's exactly what the track sounds like and feels like throughout its 4-minute duration of nothing but pure black metal rage and intolerance of raw, unbridled, primitive soundscapes and cold, shrill guitars and vocals with primitive drum patterns and work that sounds like it was being played all from beyond the void. And this is another amazing track. Now, closing out the album on Belketre's side and the album itself is the track called If We Had, and this is a pretty interesting track of nothing but vocals that are echoing on top of one another with some really sinister and insane, demented snarling and croaking that really brings out some pretty psychotic emotions, and it's an interesting way to close out the album for sure. And these metal maniacs knew exactly what they wanted to accomplish with this insane, barbaric, primal black metal assault on both sides of the split, and this is exactly how the album leaves you feeling despondent, hopeless, and isolated from all humanity, but also nostalgic and ancient, with which works to the album's strengths and uniqueness of raw black metal as a whole. The final verdict for Belketre's side of March to the Black Holocaust is getting a 10 out of 10. Hail the fucking underground. Alright, there you have it. Another album review in the books here on the channel. Hope you enjoyed the premiere. If you're new, hit the subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Janelle is working on new merch right now. She sent me a picture of the new shirt with a video, and it's going to be going up on Bonfire very, very soon. Thank you to Trevor over at Shredbeard, who just bought a new shirt. Trevor, you fucking rule. We also have Kyler, who just bought a shirt, and Luke17, who just joined the channel, and Kyler joined the channel. Thank you to all channel members and people who are buying merch. You guys fucking rule. I want to give some shout outs here at the end of the video over to Barry of That Goat Metal Show with Rich the Silent Producer, Drucifer, Mordant Red, Realms of Metal, and go check out Shredbeard's channel. Trevor over there at Shredbeard, he's a really cool guy. And Oath to the Goat, my friend Juan, really awesome guy over there at Oath to the Goat. Going to be doing more collaborations with him as well. Join the channel right now, become an MOD Elite VIP. You get great perks, $2.49 for 1 month, $4.99 thereafter. Hit the join button. You get access to exclusive content, review requests within reason, band interviews, and promotions, as you guys have been seeing. Collaborations if you have a metal YouTube channel like you saw last night right here on MOD. And moderator privileges on live streams and stuff like that. Have an awesome night, guys. Thank you so much for joining me here tonight. Hail the fucking underground. I'm out of here. We'll see you for Album Ranking Wednesday.